Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be learning the R6 operators' nicknames and actually what they mean. Now, what does Solus mean? What does Tachanka mean? Even what does Capking mean? In this video we're going to be answering all of these questions. Hope you guys enjoy the video.
First of all, we have Recruit. Now, Recruit, also known now as Striker, and Striker is not really his name. It's just what they call attacking recruits. Next, we have Sledge, who obviously gets his name from a sledgehammer. He also calls his sledgehammer the Caber, C-A-B-E-R. I don't know if that's how you say it. Next, we got Thatcher. Now, Thatcher's name comes from the British ex-Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, who deployed SAS to neutralize a terrorist threat at Iran Embassy in London, 1980. This was the mission that made SAS known around the world. Next, we have Ash. Ash got her name because people thought that her gadget turned things like door frames and doors into ash. Next, we got Thermite. Now, Thermite name comes from, well, his exothermatic charges, also called thermites. Next, we have Twitch. Twitch gets her name because of her drone's ability to shoot electronics, but also the ability to shoot enemy teammates and make them twitch involuntarily. Next, you have Montang. Now, Montang is the French word for mountain, and that comes because of people's inability to move him. Next, we have Glaz. Glaz in Russian means eye, because he is known for his excellent marksmanship and aim. Next, we got Fuse. Now, Fuse is related to his cluster charges, which have a short fuse time to go. Next, we have Blitz. Now, Blitz is German for lighting or flash, like his shield does when he blinds an enemy. Next, we have IQ. IQ's name is fairly straightforward. It basically means she has high intelligence, being one of the smartest operators in Rainbow, but now on Nighthaven. Next, we have Buck. Buck is another easy to guess one. Because of his underbarrel Buck shotgun, he gets the name Buck. Also, because he is Canadian, it kind of makes sense because, well, you can hunt bucks up there. Next, we have Blackbeard. Now, Blackbeard, who might not be everybody's favorite operator, thinks he resembles the old pirate Blackbeard that sailed the seas long ago. People think he looks like Blackbeard because of his, well, beard and his menacing stone-cold face. Next, we have Capitao. Capitao actually means captain in Latin, which kind of makes sense. Because, like, if you'd be the one leading the charges, Capitao. Next, you have Hibana. Hibana's name is from the Japanese. Hibana means, in Japanese, scarlet flower, fire flower, which, if you can see, her pellets kind of represent. Next, we have Jackal. Now, Jackal is a weird one. It is a weird coyote-looking dog that is known for hunting, which, if you actually look at his ability, the Equinox Model 3, or Inox Model 3, it actually hunts people, so that's actually a really good comparison. Next, we have Ying. Ying name, which stands for Firefly, which, if you relating to her Candelas, which when you actually kind of look at them without being flashed, they do look like fireflies. Next, we have Zofia. Now, Zofia is a lot different because Zofia is just her name. That is not a nickname. Her name is just Zofia. Dokkaebi. Dokkaebi is a folklore creature in Korean folklore, which is known to mess with or help humans, like how Dokkaebi's calls mess with the attackers and hacking them helps her teammates. Next, we have Lion. Now, Lion's name is a lot longer. Lion's name comes from the fear due to the outbreak that Rainbow is fighting. Oliver, Lion, using his loud voice, scared them back by shouting at a mob. due to how loud his voice was, the locals gave him the nickname Lion, which when he went to Rainbow, he used as his, well, code name or nickname. Next, we have Finka. Now, Finka is like a standard knife. It is like just a standard fighting knife, like, which might correspond with her personality of maybe she's just really sharp. Next, we have Maverick. Now, Maverick stands for a wild horse, as you can see in the corner of his icon. Because even though he's in the military, he refused to be controlled, and he would even just disappear for long portions of time. Next, we have Nomad. Now, Nomad is a direct correspondent to her past. Her past in which that she was an explorer, as you can see in her Elite Skin animation. Now, Nomad actually means like wanderer. So it means you never stay in one place too long. And when Nomad was an explorer, she did never stay in a place too long, so she made her name Nomad in Rainbow. Gridlock. Now, a gridlock actually means like a big traffic jam, which if you look at her track stingers, I mean, they kind of look like in police movies, those strips that you lay down to like stop car tires. So I think that's where it's from. Next, we have Nook. Now, Nook is a version of the Dutch word dukken, which means shape-shifting water spirit, which I don't really see the correspondent, but I guess it's kind of cool. Now, Amaru. Amaru is a like mystical snake that is tied to the earth. Sometimes I think it has 2 heads, and yeah, which kind of by her outfit, she looks very spiritually grounded, but yeah. Next, we have Kali. Kali is known from the deity, and it is said to help the innocent and kill the wicked. And her starting Nighthaven may make her think, well, I'm helping people and I'm killing the wicked. So that name actually really makes sense once you know what it means. Ayana. Now, Ayana is and if you know Ayana's background, she actually really wanted to be an astronaut, but just couldn't. So she now is going by Ayana, which is the Roman goddess of the moon, because she wanted to be an astronaut. Next, we have Ace. Ace is somebody who is really good at a particular thing, and as you can see by his animation right now, he's snapping pics, he's super cocky, he's like, I'm the best, which makes him think he's an ace. Next, we have Zero. Now, Zero is what he says is his position on Rainbow, meaning that he's like, I don't even know, like a zero, just like not there. But you can see his goggles on his backpack. But the Argus launcher is actually in correspondent to the Greek Cyclops, which had 3 eyes, which is like, if you look at the little cam, he has 3 eyes there. Next, we have Flores. Now, Flores is like corresponding to his time. That's where he originates. Flores originates from the district of Flores, Buenos Aires. So he's just kind of like showing where he's from. I don't glitch in the animation. That's kind of weird. Osa. Now, Osa is a little weirder because Osa means wasp in Creatosian or something, where she's from, which I don't understand. Maybe wasps are like really intricate. I don't really get it. I don't know enough about Osa's lore to understand why she would name herself Wasp, but yeah. Next we have Sens. Now Sens just means sensory and all that, just like sensory sense, which I guess that his ROU projector systems would actually like cover up and mess with your senses, because you wouldn't be able to see, and they make a loud noise you can't really hear, so it kind of messes with your senses. Next, we have Grim. Now, Grim means uninviting and foreboding, which if you can look at his face, he doesn't look very into big conversations, and he looks very grim. Like, you ain't gonna walk up to this guy and strike a conversation. Brava. Brava means brave or courageous, so it might correlate with the attack on Tower with Vigil there, and she was actually training at that time when the attack hit. So she's lucky to be alive. Next we have Ram. Ram is based on her boogie auto breachers, obviously, because you can ram them through doorways, ram them through people if you really wanted to, if you're a psychopath. So yeah, that one's not really that hidden. Deimos. Now Deimos is a really cool one. Deimos means dread, and is the brother of Phobos in a story. But he is dread. That's what he's mean, which really makes sense in his whole villain. Desmos is dread. Now we're going to the defenders, which there are a lot of cool ones on defense. Now, obviously, Sentry is just the same. He's the same as Striker. This is just what they call the recruits. It's not anything like anything. It's not his actual name, but yeah. Smoke. And Smoke is another really easy one to figure out. I bet you can tell why. Because of his smoke grenades. Yeah, he's tapping his skull with them. So yeah, that's just his whole thing is smoke. And if you ever wonder what's in the canister, you'll never find out. Mute. Now, Mute people might think it's because of his signal disruptors, but it's actually not. It's mainly based off of the fact that he is just a genius. He's the youngest Rainbow operator, and he is just always quiet. Like, his best friend is Vigil, and Vigil is not very talkative. So people just think, well, he's just always quiet, and somebody who can't talk is often referred to as Mute. So his operator name is Mute. Next we have Castle. Now, Castle's ability also corresponds with the armor panel. Now, the armor panel kind of fortifies and helps defenses, which, if you were in medieval times, that's what you want a castle to do. Protect you and keep people out. That's basically what Castle does. Next we have Pulse. Now, a lot of these defender names really correspond with their gadget. Pulse is no different. His cardiac sensor, which can see heartbeats, and if you want to see if somebody has a heartbeat, what do? You check their pulse. Next you have Doc. Again, Doc is a really easy one to figure out. Why do they call him Doc? He's a doctor. He stims you. He heals you. He's like a field medic, basically. A French field medic. Now you have Rook. Now, Rook is a weird one because it's not like the chess piece. Rook's birthplace, Towers, reflects his nickname as the word tower means rook in French. So it's basically like Flores, where Flores was saying where he's from. Well, Rook is where he's from. Kapkan. Now, I bet you can tell what Kapkan means. It might not seem very obvious, but Kapkan is Russian, and the Russian word or meaning of Kapkan is trap. And if you know anything about his ability, people ban him a lot. They don't really like his traps. Tachanka. Now, when I was reading about this, Tachanka, for not being a very good operator in game, has an insane name, like a really cool one. I would recommend looking this up, or I'd probably put a image in the corner of the screen of what it is. A Tachanka stands for a horse-drawn carriage that had a mounted gun on the back, used in Russia during World War I, which relates to his old ability of the mounted gun, which is now his actual ability. That is a really cool name and a throwback because, well, he's Russian, and just a really cool ability. Good job, Ubisoft, on that name. Jaeger. Now, Jaeger is German for hunter, which might be a reference to his ADS machines, which hunt incoming projectiles and stop them. Bandit. Now, Bandit is a weird one. Bandit gets his mainly because he used to be in a biker gang undercover. If you look at his elite skin, it clearly shows that he's undercover. He's a biker gang. He's all that. Now, he got the name Bandit because, well, they're outlaws. They're outlaws, and something you can call an outlaw is a bandit. Next, we have Frost. Now, Frost was a hunter and a, trapper. Now, her welcome mat's obviously trappers, and she's from Canada, and she was in the frost and snow all the time, so, well, she called her Frost. And she also has a little Carhartt symbol, which is kind of cool. Valkyrie. Now, I feel like a lot more people know what Valkyrie is, but just in case, Valkyrie means chooser of the slaying in Viking belief. Or they're like angels of, war. They're like warrior angels. And the Valkyrie actually means, is chooser of slain. And if you're caught on a Valkyrie cam, and it's a good Valkyrie, you're slain. You're not making it out of there, buddy. I'm sorry, but they got you pinged, you're done. Next we have Caveira. Now Caveira means skull in Portuguese. Now if you can actually see her face, there is always a skull. And I haven't seen a whole lot of skins, maybe other than her elite, where she actually doesn't have a skull. And so, on her face at all times. So Caveira just means skull. Echo. Now Echo is also about his ability. Now if you've ever had to go against the yokai, you know it's blast, like concuss you and all that. But if you not being the one concussed, you can hear the echo go down like halls and stuff. It has a really distinct sound. And the seismatic, disoriented sonic bursts kind of make an echoing sound. So why not call him Echo? Mira. Now, Mira, people are like, well, mirror just means mirror, like black mirror. That's actually wrong. It corresponds with that, but it's not mirror. Mira's name means she literally means she looks, which, if you actually go in her black mirror, she is looking at you. So you're not making it out, like, you're dead. Lesion. Now, lesion means a region or organ or tissue has suffered damage through injury or disease, such as a wound, which his mines, like his goo mines, inflict in others, which really make it kind of cool. Lesion's a really good name. Ella. Just like Ella's sister, Sophia, Ella does not have a name. Like, that's not, or like, not a name. That is just her name. Ella is her name. Vigil. Now, Vigil is another interesting one. So, Vigil actually is like kind of corresponding to his personality. So, Vigil means like unforeboding and like kind of like self-centered, not self-centered, but like keeps to themselves, and you're just not gonna like find him. He's on his own. He's always doing his own crap. So, oh, here, I actually found it. Here we go. So, wait, did I just lose it? I'm reading off a script, and I keep losing my place here, because I just have them all written down. Oh yeah, it's just in a weird place. Vigil means is a period of staying awake during the time usually spent asleep. This reflects Vigil's personality as a man who never lets his guard down, which I wouldn't either, dude. If my parents drowned in a river while I was trying to escape Korea, like, good job. Maestro. Now, for a lot of you music people out there, maestro might sound like, well, it's a conductor, but it also means somebody skilled enough to be considered an artistic genius. Which, if you put his alibi or if his evil eye cam's correct, like this guy, he is a master. Like you don't want to go against this guy if he's good. Like that's artistic. Oh, where you put your things, not autistic. Now, alibi. Alibi is saying, well, you're here, well, I'm here. Like, if you ever watched a crime documentary, alibi means, well, like, if you're a murderer, you have to have a good alibi or the police will catch you. Now, her holograms kind of give her an alibi. Well, I'm here, when actually she's flanking up behind you. Clash. Clash means a violent, like, interaction. Which, if you've ever heard some of Clash's voice lines, they're just, yeah, you know what it is. Like, she's definitely not a nice person. Kaid or Kaid. Now, Kaid stands for commander because he's actually commander of the GIGR. And if you didn't know, Nomad's leader, or like Nomad's trainer, because like he ran a training camp for people. So if you ever hear Nomad say, Kaid taught me well, that's actually talking about this Kaid, so that's kind of cool. Mozzie. Now I really like Mozzie's name. Mozzie is Australian slang for mosquito, or mosquito, because of his drone pests are just like pests. Well, what is mosquito? A pest. So I think that is a really funny name, and good that they put an Australian term in an Australian operator. Warden. Now, Warden got his name from a person responsible for the supervision of a particular place or thing for ensuring the regulations associated with it are obeyed, like supervising sight with his glasses. Like, people might think he's a roamer, but you're making sure that your domain, this is your house. You're not letting anybody come in. You are the warden of the building. Goyo. Now, Goyo, you have to go on a little trip through Mexican geology, because Goyo is actually the volcano. Don Goyo is the most active Mexican volcano, which, if you actually look at his operator icon, it definitely represents, well, it's a volcano. And his fire canisters really make sense. Next we have Wamai. Wamai means of water, which, if you look at him, he's definitely in a scuba gear, and it really reflects his naval background. Oryx. Now, Oryx gets his name from the large antelope, a mammal-like deer with dark marks on its face and legs and long horns, which explains his legendary skin, which he has like the ram horns. Now, that is pretty good. I want to see, I don't know if I have the appearance or the face for it, but like this, the antelope. See, if you have the helmet for this skin on Oryx, you'll see his horns, and that really makes sense, along with his ram icon. That's not a ram, it's an Oryx. Malusi. Now, Malusi is a really cool one too. It just means shepherd, which, if you know anything about Malusi's background, or even her operator trailer, she's in Africa, in the trees. She's stopping poachers. She's like shepherding all these other animals. She is like the protector, like the shepherd is to her sheep. Aruni. Now, Aruni means dawn, rising sun, morning, one of many names of the sun god, a feminine form of the name Arun, which, pretty cool. I don't get what that affects her. Maybe I don't know enough about Aruni's lore. I know that her arms got broken off and Nighthaven saved her, but yeah, that's all I know. Thunderbird. Now, a Thunderbird is a legendary creature that is considered a supernatural being of power, which might be connected to her pilot flying days as a helicopter. Because if you don't know, you can check. She has her helmet on. Like, and in a lot of lore videos, if the operators need to go somewhere, well, Thunderbird's taking them there in a helicopter. Like when they went to go raid the Caries Legion when Deimos was captured. Thorn. Well, I bet you can name what Thorn means. Well, it's obviously referring to her traps, her razor bloom shells, which fire tiny, like, shrapnel projectiles, which others could call thorns. Azami. Azami is a Japanese name for thistle. Thistle, holy crap. A group of flowering plants known for their sharp prickles, maybe because she doesn't seem friendly, and maybe because she was once a bodyguard. Yeah, if you don't know Azami's lore, her, like, person she was protecting got killed, so she joined Rainbow to help other people. Solus. Solus is a Spanish name derived from the Latin sol, literally meaning sun, which explains her symbol. Like her little eye symbol there. And I don't really know what that corresponds with her actual character, but pretty cool. Fenrir. Fenrir refers to Fenrir Suffler from the Norse mythology, a mysterious wolf as seen on his operator icon, who has been chained by the gods out of fear for his strength. In Norse mythology, it is said that on Doomsday, Fenrir will break free and devour the sun, ending the world. My guess to how this connects to Fenrir's gadget blinds operators with dread, like how the Norse Fenrir will deprive the world of light. Fenrir the operator is also a Scandinavian descent, which is a lot of folklore stuff. Now Tubero is kind of like in the same boat as Wamai, aqua related. Tubero translates to shark in Portuguese, which shark is a really cool name for a operator. Like, being called shark all the time would be super cool. Scopos. Now, with the new operator, I also don't think people know what it means. Like, okay, so Talos and Colossus are both Greek. They're two Greek giants. They're both Greek giants. And Scopos in Greek, what does it mean? It means purpose. So what is her purpose? To help her teammates on the battlefield with Scopos. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys learned something new. And like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.